I think it's also important to go out of the comfort zone if you want to evolve or grow. I think the only way to grow is to get out of your comfort zone. The only way to grow is to fail.
If you're doing your best effort and maybe you're not getting the results you're looking for, the universe is seeing that and it goes on your side, and eventually that consistent effort and momentum, you'll manifest some good stuff.
Try to do your best all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you try to do your best as it's not the best, but learn from that.
What up, my friends? Welcome back. BrodieNeroTV on YouTube. Hope you guys know what to do by now. Please like, comment, subscribe. More exclusive interviews. Let's have some fun. We've got Camilo Franco in the building. How are you, bro?
Very good, and you?
Yeah, really nice. Thanks for coming in and being a part of the project.
Thanks for having me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. So you're here playing and doing a few shows. But I also saw through Instagram that it's not your first time in Bali, and you've spent some time here and plan to spend some more. What brought you to the magical island?
Well, actually, the magical island itself, I'm based in Ibiza, and the connection between Ibiza and Bali has been always very, very close, I guess, because of the mindset and the spirit of both islands. Mm-hmm. So this is what is bringing me here. The lifestyle, the people, the nature, the Balinese people. This is what is really attractive for me.
Cool. Yeah, it's a special place, man, for sure. Yeah. So now that you've played a couple of gigs here, and as someone that's working in the industry, when you observe the music scene here and its evolution, what are some of your thoughts?
Well, the first time I've been here in Bali was a while ago. Mm-hmm. There were not so many clubs like there are right now. There were not so many beach clubs. Some of them still they were already here, and I just saw a huge evolution of clubbing, of electronic music scene, many names and artists. Since I know of Bali, many artists wanted to come here to not only to spend some vacation, also to play some music, because the vibes were also always super good.
Yeah.
But now I see that it's a little bit more like, I don't know, like a more like a place where there is a electronic scene. Before, one was like DJs coming here to have some fun and get some vacation and lifestyle and then leaving. Yeah. That's kind of it has been also a kind of circuit, but now I see that much bigger. And especially the last 3 years, after 2020 and 2021, Bali went like super up, and all the DJs are now here. It's one of the other hotspots in the world where the electronic music has a bigger scene here, I think, right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've mentioned it a bunch of times in previous episodes that it's this March will be 3 years that I've been here, and just observing what's happened in that short of a time span, it's crazy. And like you said, all the big artists are coming here now, and it's now part of the tour circuit, and more people are talking about it. So it's great for the island, I think.
Yeah. It's good, I think.
Cool. Nice, bro. So you are the founder and creator of a huge brand called Boho. Uh-huh. And I have a ton of questions about that I want to learn, and I'm sure we can share and educate and motivate people too that are going to be listening and watching. But before we delve into that project, I'm curious to know a bit about your origin story, your entry point into music, and how you built a name for yourself that put you in a position to say, hey, I want to build something bigger than myself, which would be Boho. Mm-hmm.
Well, I started very young in the music, in the electronic music as a DJ. With 15 years old, I already knew how to play music and on vinyl and things like that. This was my hobby and my passion, and then I don't know. This became from a hobby and a passion became like a career without even knowing. It's just. This is what I was telling you before. Sometimes you do things with passion and love, and then this is leading you to something that is going to become a professional thing, a thing where you can live, a thing that you can live out of, no?
Yes,
if it makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, I started as a resident, like many locals and resident. I would just play music, buy music. I see all these vinyls here around in the studio, and I recognize a lot because I also have some similar vinyls like this. Nice. I have a lot of vinyls, yes. Yeah, cool. The same ones, a lot of them. And And then I started playing in clubs, and also I got the opportunity that those clubs that were also programming DJs, like international DJs. So I got to see all the DJs playing different kind of music, different style, with different technique, with different. I learned a lot from that. And yeah, in one point, I was just moving to the hotspots where I think that you. Where I thought that I can expose myself a little bit more, like Ibiza. I was going to Ibiza a lot because I live in Spain, so it was very close to me.
Yeah.
And one day I had the chance, an opportunity to play in a big venue there, and since then, I was just kind of evolving and start producing also some music. I released also house music and different labels. This was something that also helped me to put my name a little bit more on the map with the music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. After years and years, I had the feeling that I was kind of evolving musically. Well, there were many changes into the music and the trends in music. That moment was like the house music moment. Then the EDM came. It became so big, and every DJ was like shocked. Like, okay, what is the direction right now? All the house music lovers, they were kind of confused. Yeah. The EDM was kicking off very, very, very hard. So yeah, I just I don't know. I guess when you are a long time doing something, and also evolving, not also in your career, also as a person, you get a little bit wiser, a little bit more. You have a little bit more experience, and then you get also more secure with things. And some people evolve, and some people just not evolve so much. But I had a feeling that I was evolving, and then this is what the moment when I thought, okay, I'm evolving right now. I don't feel the music that I was playing before, but a little bit connected, but not exactly the same.
Mm.
So what can I do? And I was always, my mind is always like thinking and creating and nonstop. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to create something which is matching with who I am right now. And this is when the Boho thing came.
Cool.
And Boho means Bohemian. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, Boho means Bohemian.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, I think it's like a short name of Bohemian in French. They call it Boho. So I'm coming from a musician's family. My father is a musician, and my father is a super huge Bohemian person.
Okay.
So I love art, I love food, I love music, of course, and I love fashion, and I love aesthetics and this kind of things. So I just try to put something which is matching all together in an experience, and because of my father and this kind of life, Bohemian life, which I was also living kind of a little bit. This is where I found the name of Boho. It's not something that I invented because it's already in many things, but it was more focused into fashion, brands, or restaurants, things like that. So this is where the Boho name came.
Wow, cool.
And yeah, this was like kind of my evolution, like the way I wanted to create something that we can put like-minded people together and kind of express who I am or who we are with Boho.
Yeah, beautiful, man. I want to go deeper into this project. A couple points you said that I just want to touch on for a moment here, because for me, I'm all about mindset, motivation. I'm always curious the things people do, the action steps they take to advance themselves professionally. So one of the key things that you mentioned that we spoke about before was making sure whatever you're going to pursue, there's some passion and genuine love behind it. This is going to be the driving force to make you want to pursue something, if it's music, for example. Another thing that you had mentioned was observing others. You were seeing what others, you were going around doing a bit of, let's call it market research, seeing different venues, what they're doing, how they're playing, maybe taking a little bit from here and there, putting it into your own style, things like that. And then there was an interesting moment you mentioned. I'm curious what exactly happened, but you'd mentioned you played a bigger show and something after that kind of changed. Do you recall that moment? Could you talk a bit about it? Was it that you played a bigger venue and a big crowd and that exposure created more opportunities, or it inspired you, or did something change? Or
Yeah. Well, first, it was like a evolution, and I was kind of growing as a DJ and also as a producer without even realizing. I don't know. First, people start liking what I was doing, my music and the way I was doing, and then also because I was in venues where they were programming DJs, some big DJs and big names, they were kind of like realizing about what I'm doing. So, for instance, Eric Morillo, I don't know if you heard about him. Eric Morillo invited me to his night in Pasha back in the days because I was warming up for him in a club in Spain. Wow. And he liked what I did. He invited me to play shows over there. So that was my first introduction to Ibiza, let's say, something like that. And then when I arrived there, I was just, of course, I wanted to stay and move to Ibiza, because it's the center of the music, electronic music, and during the summer in the whole world. Yeah. So it's important for if you want to grow in what you're doing in music, it's important to be there and to be in the hotspot. Yes. To get the opportunity. So I was just there waiting my opportunity and being there and playing here in small things, private things, sometimes opening with nobody on the dance floor, things like that, until I got my opportunity my big opportunity at Space Ibiza, the biggest Space Ibiza that now is closed. Yeah. But back in the days was like the number one club in the world. Wow. And then I got my opportunity there. I became a resident, and this of course gave me a lot of opportunities. I start doing a lot of press with them. I start playing all over the world with them. And this was kind of my breakdown, let's say, as a DJ. And also together, I knew that it was important to produce some music and have the combo of both things. So this was more or less the way I had a break as a DJ.
Cool. Yeah. I want to go back to an interesting moment you mentioned that sounds like it was a career advancing opportunity where you were doing a warm-up set for Eric Morillo. Yeah. And that led you to going with him and taking on a residency or playing elsewhere with him. As someone myself that has had the opportunity in the last couple of years to open up for some big acts, we spoke about it before on the podcast too, that the opening DJ set is a very interesting and important role to take on because you have the power to do just enough, not enough, or even too much. Do you recall any of how you prepared for that set? Did you know it was a big opportunity before you did it? Mm-hmm. And you did something, you played it in a way that, the correct way, I guess you could say, where you played enough to get the vibe going, but not enough to overpower or overtake the headliner. Do you recall any of those details from when you opened up and did that set, and some of the things you did that it was so good that Eric Morillo decided to bring you with him?
Yeah. Well, warming up is like the word says. You need to warm up the people, make the people ready for the big thing. It's like I don't know how I can compare it. It's like an appetizer. It's like a aperol. It's something like that. Yeah. That something that you need to give to the crowd that they're starting making them excited and put them ready for the big thing, for the something. I don't know how to explain it, but I was just, I don't know, I learned that this is very important just to try to create a vibe what is not smashing the people, mm-hmm. but at the same time keeping them like sexy and grooving and moving and things like that, and kind of preparing the thing, which I miss this a lot from many DJs nowadays, because a lot of people know how to mix, because also there are many tools to learn how to mix, but they don't really know how to warm up something. So this is something a little bit missing in the right now. But also the things change a lot. Sure. So I understand both points, but yeah, I was just I just tried to do that, to prepare some music where I can create a groove and nice people have fun, but not smashing them.
Yeah.
I also believe, as you said, that the importance of warming up is to me so big that to me also the whole night could depend on that. Having the best DJ or the biggest DJ or the worst DJ, if you do a wrong. To me, how long the night lasts sometimes depends a lot from the warm-up, not from the main act, from the warm-up.
Wow.
So because if you smash too much the people in the beginning, it doesn't matter what the guest is doing. The people finishing and then it's going. Or some people even will leave earlier. So as much as you delay that smashing thing, and you are capable to create a story, then the people will last longer. This is 100%.
Yeah.
You can prove it and you can try it.
Yeah, wow. No, I love that. The gem that I got there, maybe the clickbait moment was how long the night lasts can often depend on the opener.
To me, yes. From my perspective, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
But you need to have the skills to do that. And this is only coming with experience.
Yeah.
You cannot buy experience. You only need to learn, be open, play and 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 play.
Yeah, yeah.
And get the different crowds is what is coming with experience.
For sure. You mentioned something that I wanted to touch on too, and just sharing a personal story about the advancement of technology in the DJ world, going from vinyl to digital. I'm just thinking now of someone that reached out. So every once in a while, I get someone that messaged me and says, hey, can I pay you for DJ lessons or whatever? And I 99.9% of the time say no, because most people aren't that serious. I don't have a ton of time, whatever. And then in recent times, someone messaged me and asked for it. And I said, look, if we're going to work together, it's going to be in this capacity. It's going to be this often, this frequency, and this is what we're going to focus on, et cetera, et cetera. And long story short, we're not working together because he wasn't about it. And he was of the mindset, like, quote unquote, I just want to take a few classes so I can master my transitions and then I'm good. And I thought, wow, like it's at a point now. I haven't been DJing since there was vinyls, but I guess it's to a point now where the technology is so advanced that people can just download some music, learn how to mix, and call themselves a DJ. And I was curious, what's your when I say all that, what's your thoughts and how do you feel about the advancement of technology? Do you think it's to the benefit of the industry and culture or to the detriment?
I think it's amazing. I think that the technology is helping a lot. In my case, for instance, I can do a vinyl set, but I think I will get bored, and the thing with the technology is like you can use that technology to create out of creation.
Yes.
I play music from other artists, from other DJs, and from other producers, from other musicians. But with the help of the technology, you could do that also back in the days with vinyl, but it was too much, and I saw DJs playing vinyl, American DJs playing 4 vinyls nonstop and creating like Little Louis Vega, these kind of people, like these kind of godfathers of house music.
Yeah.
I was also doing this kind of stuff, but it's too much because you need to have so much concentration, and the technology helps. A lot of DJs are against that, like this kind of sync or things like that. I mean, if you already know how to mix and you already prove that you can mix and you already prove that you have a long career, even if you don't have a long career as a DJ, if you're doing your job as a DJ, it doesn't matter what are you using, for mixing. Is to me what it counts is the result. So, and of course respect some things. That for DJs we to me DJ is a big word, it's like a musician. I cannot call myself as a musician because I'm not a musician, even that I'm capable to build some music and electronic music, but I'm not a musician, and I cannot play a piano as a musician.
Right.
So I cannot call myself a musician.
Okay.
To me that's a big word. So for me it's the same, a DJ. To call someone a DJ is like, what is the DJ? What is a DJ? What is the DJ work or what is the DJ? So it's everything that I explained you before. The skills to make an incredible warm up and then incredible main set, or stay 8 hours from 12 to 8 in the morning, non-stop DJing and not having anyone leaving the dance floor. This is a great DJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
So technology definitely helps. I have a lot of fun playing with technology but in my opinion, you need to know how to use technology, because a lot of people abuse the technology, using up too much effects or just looping too much, which sometimes is not even necessary.
Yeah.
And it's like you're playing a game, like some people are shooting more, some people are shooting less, or some people is in the front line, and some people is just a sniper, sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this thing. So like everything, I think if you use the tools in the right way, and that makes the difference, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me, we had Afro house duo called Stones and Bones from South Africa. And one of them said something interesting where they said, are you using the technology and the advancement of it to make things easier and cut corners, or are you using it so you can do more? So for example, at Miss Fish, we have 4 decks. And he said, if you're using, not that this is strict rules, but just as an example, he said, if you're using the sync button so you can manage 4 decks because you're creating something cool, then that's cool use of the technology to the benefits. Because if you're just using sync button because you're too lazy to understand what proper beat matching is and things like that, then, you're cheating a little bit. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Cool. Nice, bro. So I want to move into the Boho experience now and ask a bunch of questions about this. So you're basically the captain and the lead behind this, and you told us a bit about the name, its origin, and some aspects of it. But I want to talk about how it started in terms of the first location in the first country and maybe even the first event, and then talk about your progress and evolution to being in multiple different countries. So could you tell us a bit about, it was established in Ibiza, the first one?
No, we started actually in Barcelona. The first
in
one.
Barcelona. Okay, cool.
And this was 2018. And it was at night. It was an event at night. I was a resident in a place over there in Barcelona, and as I told you, it was just evolving and trying to make my own thing, like my own concept or something like that. So this is the moment also where I think we will talk about her, where a moment where I met my girl.
Yeah.
In that moment, and I wanted to do this, so created together the concept, and I presented to the venue where I was, and they loved it, and they supported it, and this is how we started in Barcelona.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And what was the frequency that you were doing the events? Was it weekly, monthly?
We were doing monthly.
Got it.
We were doing monthly because to us was important to create a hype.
Yep.
So doing it monthly gave us the opportunity to create the hype, in between.
Got it.
Trying to do something different in that moment and special. And then if the people like it, then they had to wait 1 more month until they get it again.
Yeah,
something
nice.
like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So did it stay as a monthly thing for that first chapter, or did it end up going more often, like every 2 weeks, every week, or?
Always monthly.
Always monthly,
Always
so
monthly.
you stuck with that.
Yeah,
okay.
Always monthly. To us was important.
Okay.
Also because what we do, it needs a lot of preparation, production, and to us was important to deliver properly.
Yeah.
And after this became weekly, but we already had the experience for 2 years experience, or 1 year and a half experience, because after Barcelona, then we went to Marbella, and then we were 2 months and a half there, and that was weekly. But we already had the 1 year and something experience of the event, so we could manage the weekly thing as well. But yeah, in Barcelona was monthly, always monthly. We still do in Barcelona sometimes, and it's monthly, or now even less times.
Okay.
Like every 3 months, 4 months, to do something special.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I saw online, it was posted that you've done it thus far in Ibiza, Dubai, Tulum, Cape Town?
Cape Town.
Wow. Barcelona,
We went also
Marbella.
to Paris. We went also to Albania.
Wow.
Egypt. Beirut also.
Whoa, come on.
Yeah,
Nice. Wow, you've really taken it globally.
Yeah.
Cool.
And where else? Yeah. Morocco, Marrakesh also once. Yeah, that's all I think.
Cool. How many people are in the Boho team?
We are two managing the event, but then we work with a lot of freelancers.
Okay, got
around. Let's say when we are all together in the same event, we could be like from 15 to 20, something like that. Because the main team, like the agents and bookers and could be like 5, 6, no more for now. And we always work with we always teaming up with the venue team, or we have a lot of artists and performers that when we are all together, then we hire them, we book them, something like that.
Cool.
But the main team is like 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
So when you started this party and you were doing monthly, at what point did you decide, or even more so, what gave you the confidence to say, this is a solid concept and brand, it's successful, I want to take it globally? What was that turning point where you said, I want to start mobilizing this party?
Actually, it was just, I didn't have the feeling that I say, okay, this is going to smash it or something like that. I just did the same that I did when I only was DJing. It's just like, okay, this is we created this now. I think we need to try to bring it to the hotspots. And for instance, Ibiza was always a goal for me because, as I said before, for me it's like the center of electronic music and events and also art and the hippie life as well, the bohemian life, these kind of things. But I knew that Ibiza is very, very difficult market as well. It's difficult. You cannot come to Ibiza with a great idea and be successful like that, A lot of people is coming with great ideas to Ibiza, but sadly they had to leave.
We see it in Bali too.
After they come,
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult. Like everywhere. Also, I believe here in Bali, a lot of people came with great ideas or concept, but then
lots of money too.
They had to leave.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
So I don't know. After Barcelona, we were doing very well in Barcelona. We brought to Barcelona something that nobody was doing. And we brought an experience. We brought something which now everyone is used to be using visuals and a lot of visuals. We were doing that already in 2018, making the whole place with visuals, a lot of mapping, a lot of things happening, a lot of human acts,
Cool.
A lot of entertaining, a lot of as an experience,
Yeah.
So we were doing very well in Barcelona, and then the pandemic came. We were also doing well in Marbella as well. We already brought it to Cape Town. We started to, I don't know. It was something that I just believed that is something beautiful for the entertaining scene, or the entertaining world. So I was just trying to during my whole career as a DJ, I met a lot of people, a lot of promoters. Also because of Space Ibiza, also because Ibiza. I met a lot of promoters from all over the world, so I just started to propose to them, hey, why we don't try to bring this, which is something different that you're gonna offer to your audience or things like that, trying to team up with them, and yeah, this is how we slowly started to move the brand without thinking, okay, we just want to be in places and give what we do, and if the people like it, then it's going to become more. We're gonna come back more times or something like that. So then the pandemic came and everyone was stopped. Nobody could do anything.
Yeah.
But this gave us a lot of time to think and create. So we create more. We create things that I think that people like a lot. Like after when we I don't know, like we just try to thinking about the music, what we can want to have in those events in terms of music or art or food or concept. Try to create the full experience. Think about how we can connect one thing with another, and then when the pandemic started opening or start slowing down, we had the opportunity from a beach club in Ibiza that they wanted to have us.
Wow, nice.
So this is where the moment we landed in Ibiza, and we were in a very small spot on the beach, but it was super magical with the sunset in front and everything. So we landed in Ibiza and we started doing what we did. And we adapted to the pandemic situation because you remember the people couldn't dance, things like that. At least in Spain, the people could go for listening to music, but they wasn't not allowed to dance. Can you imagine that?
It was ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So, okay, we created something to play with this, to play the game.
Yeah.
But being there, the people loved it. And then we had the opportunity to go to Tulum. And we had the opportunity before also to go to Tulum, but for me, it was a little bit difficult, to go to that part of the world, to deal with other kind of people or other kind. So, but this time we say, okay, everywhere is closed, and everywhere is doing nothing.
Yeah.
And apparently Tulum is possible to do things, so we just packed our things and we went to Tulum.
Wow.
With the whole thing. Because in that moment we had a lot of decoration, we have outfits, we have we went to Tulum, only my girl and me, with I don't know, like 7 or 8 suitcases.
Come on.
Like that.
Wow.
To start the event, the thing there. And over there we found a team, we're working with, this is mostly what we do, we team up with the local people. And it was a struggle also in the beginning in Tulum, but then the things started doing very well. The people accepted a lot what we did. They loved it, and we became really successful in Tulum. And this is more or less the moment where we put the brand in the map, kind of. Also because the whole world was in Tulum. All the biggest promoters, all the biggest clients, all the biggest audience, and everyone that they wanted to escape from this virus war, they call it.
Yeah.
They were there. So they gave us the opportunity to show what we do. Because sometimes it's like resident DJs. They are incredible resident DJs that have a lot of skills, a lot of experience and everything. But if they don't have the opportunity to show what they do to someone that can see that, maybe they can never have the opportunity, the chance to do something else.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad. So unless they make music or something like that, and then the agencies come into them and see them as a product more than
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's giving me flashbacks during the crazy lockdowns. Like we were doing events in Toronto, and I remember as the DJ, I'm the only one who had to wear the mask, and there was no dancing and no standing. When you entered, you had to sit at the tables, and people were buying bottles and just vibing in chairs. Like it was a crazy time, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy time.
Wow. Man, again, I'm always looking for these little gems of wisdom and like mindset related stuff. And I notice it's twice now where you had mentioned you knew it was a time to evolve. So for example, in your DJ career, you were doing the local stuff, but then you said, hey, I'm doing well at this and it's successful and I would be just fine if I stayed right here, but I think I need to push myself a little bit more. And then you started to mobilize more. And then you mentioned with Boho as well, again, you were local, doing well, the brand was strong, but then you said, hey, I think I need to push it there, or push it more rather. Why do you think, if you had to take an idea or guess about your mindset, why it was important to push yourself and not just stay within these parameters of safe and consistency? What do you think motivated you and pushed you to step outside your comfort zone and want to go to the next level?
I think this is because the way I am. I love to go out of the comfort zone all the time. I love challenges. I love adventures. I love not problems, but I love when there is something that I cannot do, it's like for me, okay, I need to do this.
Yeah.
It's part of my personality. So and a lot of people or humans are like that, and they are non-stop, and they all the time doing things and failing and doing and having success and doing and failing, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's part of my personality, but I think it's also important to go out of the comfort zone if you want to evolve or grow. I think the only way to grow is to get out of your comfort zone. The only way to grow is to fail. The only way to grow is to be down. Is that with constant happiness and stay in the same place all the time, I think is I don't know if you really grow as a person. I mean, maybe yes, if you read a lot and you research things like that, you get maybe more intellectual and know things. But to get out of your comfort zone is completely turning you into a different, I think, making you grow a lot, I think.
Yeah, I would say this is an important quality that I'm glad we brought up, because it's so easy. I think we as humans, we're creatures of habit. And once we see some consistency and stability in our lives, we don't like the turbulence, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's through those challenges and adversities that bigger and greater things can happen for us. So it's a great thing and a great quality you have that I wanted to make sure that people really pull and use in their lives. The last question I had about Boho was, for each of these events being all over the world and stuff, do you still have to be at all of them, or have you scaled to the point that they can run on their own and you don't have to be at every single one, or where's that at?
When we were in Tulum, that we supposed to go for 5 weeks and we stay 4 months, because it was doing so well that we stay longer over there. After we left and we let them. We were doing also some Boho, weekly Bohos over there without being there, teaming up with the venue, and we were directing and everything, but from remotely. We were not there, so we were doing all the program, all the bookings and everything. But the venue already knew how to operate and how to function, because the way we do the things. If you one day come to see me in Ibiza, you will see more or less what it is. To me, it's very important. At least in the beginning, if we have a residency somewhere, in the beginning to be there, because everything matters. Every single thing matters. Since the operation of the venue till till this light over there, till this till this speaker, if it's louder or less loud, or this area, this sound, everything matters.
Yeah.
Because what we try to do is to play with every sense, and to me it's super important to make comfortable every sense. So the smell has to be pleasant. What you hear has to be gentle.
Yes.
What you see has to be pretty, aesthetic.
Yes. Wow, I love
what you
that.
feel has to be different, fresh. And then out of all this we create the vibe.
Wow.
So I think the secret is always the way you combine everything, because you can have the money and you can have all the tools, like artists, the decoration, this and that. But how are you going to combine that? How are you going to connect that? How are you going to create the journey out of that? This is the secret. And this is only you can do it with someone behind who understands how to do it.
Yeah.
Or has the feeling or the taste to do it, which are many people that do that. This is the secret. And sometimes you get that experience also and taste or just know what you want and don't get influenced from other things, because this is also very important to be secure of what you want and not get, there is a lot of information, especially now, things that you see, I want this, I want that, and I'm going to put all together, but sometimes it's not the right thing. Sometimes you need to stop and okay, what I want to present, who I am, what I want to give to the people.
Wow.
So and then know how to express it and use the tools and know how to combine it.
Yeah.
This is the thing, and this is where this is the real thing. This is a real key.
Yeah.
Something that you cannot study. You can study. You can study cinema, how to make a movie, but after, if you are not a good creator, the movie is going to be bad.
Yeah.
You follow all the things. Okay, I have this, and now this. After this, it's important to have the study and the structure, because it's a plan. It's a way to start. But after, it's up to you, who you are, how is your creativity, how is your experience. How to put that out.
Yeah. Man, so many gems I'm getting from my own self, my own events.
Yeah.
Man, we're flowing right now. I love it. I lied. I got one more question pertaining to Boho. So all that being said, you have everything in place: lights, scents, aesthetic, vibe, music. Everything's perfect. One of the biggest things that makes an event successful is getting people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And moving people is not an easy thing. So I was curious now, again, we just spoke about it, the fact that someone can come with a great idea, the perfect venue, all the money and everything. How do we move people? And I was curious if you could give, 3 to 5 tips of how you've successfully been able to move people, and not just locally, even going into new places around the world. So maybe we talk a bit about marketing and just any gems of wisdom you can throw at us about moving people and getting them inside the doors or on the beach.
Yeah, marketing is definitely important.
Yeah.
And nowadays is the most important thing. But also a lot of people is doing marketing. So you need to try to connect to the people in different ways. I think it's very important, the human connection, not only the digital connection.
Yeah.
The human connection, in our case, what we do is important. So, and if you are someone that can connect with people, and then you are surrounded kind of like-minded people, and they all kind of spread what you do, or mouth to mouth, or just slowly people getting to know what you do, and they feel very good, and then the things start growing and growing, and sometimes you don't even need so much marketing. Also, it depends where you want to go. It depends if you want to be mainstream and huge, or you want to stay like a little bit less mainstream, but not underground, but with a nice community that you can do what you do, and at the same time you can make some profit out of it.
Yeah.
So this is for instance our mindset.
Yeah.
We don't want to be 3,000 people. We don't want to be a huge mainstream event. Some people, yes. But in our case, so
what's the typical capacity of a Boho experience in terms of how many people?
We go from we can be from 300 to 1,500. Let's say.
Okay.
It depends.
It's a nice vibe.
Yeah, it depends.
Cool.
Sometimes we had more people, but then the vibe changed. So yeah, to us it's important to keep the vibe and to keep it kind of intimate.
Yeah, exclusive.
Yeah, with a little bit more people, and we've been in festivals, but we always had a stage, a smaller stage, like in Branch Electronic, Barcelona.
Okay.
We had a stage already for 3 years in a row, the green stage. The capacity, let's say, 1,000. But I think this could be kind of the limit, because after that is me as a DJ, I would love to play it for less or more people. I don't care. But for what we do, is to us it's important to keep it intimate also, because the vibe is different. I think the vibe is different.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can feel it when you are at the Miss Fish.
Yeah.
Right there, you can create a beautiful vibe with this capacity. Like, it's completely different.
Yeah. And people tell us all the time, like, hey, you should expand, get a bigger location. We're like, man, it's working well right now. And we like the fact that we don't want anybody to be dissatisfied or unhappy because they couldn't get in, but we love the idea of demand. So marketing is definitely important, but also it's important that to offer the audience something different that everyone is offering, and it doesn't have to be music. Could be treatment. Could be, I don't know, other things.
because I mean, and after, if you give them good music, they're going to be the happiest in the world. And this is also what is really creating the memory, you know.
Yeah.
But if you build your community, slowly it's getting, you know, your people, your tribe, you can call it that way as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
beautiful.
can get, and maybe there is a moment that okay, I want to bring my tribe to this other place, and let's do it there. And then you want to grow, then okay, let's try to put it together, to connect more people, and this together with marketing and all the tools that you need to for making to grow up brand that grow.
Yeah.
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 Then I think you can make it grow. Yeah.
Sure.
You can bring the people in. Yeah. And yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, it's all great, juicy info, man. Appreciate it. Cool. So switching lanes a little bit here, there's a quote I wanted to share, and it's from a super famous actor, Kevin Hart. And he says, you can have anything you want or do anything you want in life, just not at the same time. And it really struck me because, as I'm sure you can relate, as an artist, so many creative ambitions, so many different projects, so many different professions and industries, maybe depending on the person. So as someone yourself that started off with DJing, producing, and having a big focus on that, and that being the start of your career, then going over and stepping into events and building a huge global brand now, Boho, do you at any times wish that you had more time or the ability to work more on music and build yourself as an individual artist, i.e. a DJ producer? Did you ever have any points when Boho was taking off and really growing and you were putting a ton of time into it and you're like, man, I just want to get in the studio, or I wish I was just on tour because it's just easier to fly around as a DJ? I was curious if there's been any personal struggle with balancing the two creative desires.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Actually, when we started Boho, it was started as a music label. It was Boho Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to start as a label, like many events and concepts happen.
Yeah.
You know, start as a label, and then you bring the label and the artist from the label to an event. But at the same time, because we were building an experience, a full experience, a 360 experience, I got lost not lost. It's just that the label thing, the music label thing, went to a secondary thing, and then we started to just building the full experience, the full act. Let's call it that way. And this really kept me very, very, very busy, because when you want to have every single detail on point, it's a lot of work. So this music thing, and of course I stopped producing music. I was doing more house and tech house before, and release on Defected, I release on Tool Rooms, I release these kind of labels. But I was not feeling myself into that music anymore, so I had to stop making music to try to reconnect to myself, to say, okay, what I want to do, what I want to. So that I just stopped the studio thing or the producing for a while. But then when I wanted to come back, I was so busy with events all the time, busy. So sometimes I was like, okay, I wish I had more time, to go and think about ideas or to get inspired, because to me also in my case, I need to be quiet and stop for a while to get inspiration from music.
Yeah.
If I'm stressed and if I'm doing something, which I love it at the same time. I love the creation, the part of anything.
Yeah.
So, but I was missing a little bit, and sometimes when I was at the same time touring as a DJ and not doing things with the brand, to me was also like kind of like easy, like okay, I go there, and I don't need to bring the whole thing. I don't need to be behind of this whole creation and this whole thing. I let the promoters are doing their thing. I just go play my music, enjoy as a DJ.
Yeah.
And yes, but so yes, this happens sometimes. I had this struggle, but I found the balance. I learned how to say no to some things and to try to find the balance, because in the moment you your brand gets a little bit more popular, it's like everyone wants things, everyone.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. So I think this is also important that when this moment arrives, you have the experience to know how to manage that. Otherwise, you get lost and you can fail after as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, now I'm more focused in again making some music again.
Ah, great,
Yeah.
cool. Any releases on the calendar for this year?
Yeah. Well, I hope I'm gonna launch the Boho music this year. Finally,
Okay, cool.
after all these years.
Yeah, cool.
I supposed to start with this in the beginning, but I had this project and idea for a long time, but hopefully I'm going to do it this year.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a release. I'm working on some things. One release for sure is going to be with this producer called Nena Helena.
Okay.
Helena is an English guy, Neil, who also does a lot of things with the meme and people like that. And it's going to be in the market with the Gardens of Babylon, the label. Yeah.
Cool.
Soon. A very different thing that I was doing until now. And with some nice remixes from other artists. And I'm working on 2 or 3 more tracks that
Amazing.
I still don't know which labels I'm going to put them. Maybe they go onto the Boho Music label.
Cool.
Yeah.
So lots going on this year.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
In the meantime, I was doing some mashups and some edits that I was sending also to other artists and things like that were working well, but nothing official.
Got it. So we just got to stay tuned, keep following you,
Yeah.
and see what you post and let us know what's coming. Nice, bro. So we spoke a little bit earlier about this, and I wanted to touch on this because I'm just curious because there's all different elements of success, and I think collaboration, partnership, and all this stuff can be very important. So that being said, we talked about it earlier, your partner, Natalie, who's also the business partner for you for Boho as well. Mm-hmm. And you guys connected in a Boho event?
No.
Oh.
We met each other in Barcelona.
Okay.
She's from Austria.
Okay.
We met each other in Barcelona and we fall in love.
Wow. Got right to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, in my case, was like that. Like totally fall in love.
Yeah.
And she was living in Austria and she was working in. Her father is also a musician, a very popular musician over there, and she was working in an agency, promotion agency, where they were, creating promotional activations for brands like, I don't know, Coca-Cola, Bear, and things like that.
Okay.
And she was leading a team over there, so she was already very creative in that field, and she was also very into the fashion and she has a lot of style and everything. So in that moment, I just found the name of what I wanted to do. Had the concept of everything that I wanted to do, but I needed to land all those things and put them together in a build a concept, like connect everything kind of to see what I want to do. And so I just proposed her to if she want to join. Like, hey, look, we just met. Maybe I don't know. She was not happy in Austria with her job, something like that. Austria life things.
Yeah.
She's more like a free spirit, as I always say.
Cool. Amazing.
So I just tell him, why you don't just quit Austria and come to Barcelona, and let's do this together. Let's bring this together. You bring all your knowledge and things that and everything. We put it together and we launch it.
Wow.
And this is what she did. She came and we launched it together. And after I told her how to play music, so she didn't know how to play music, but it was one of her dreams.
Yeah.
So I taught her how to play music, and she started playing in our events. First during the dinners in the beginning. Of course, I told her how important is the warm up.
Yeah, of course.
I super strict with her. Sometimes she hates me.
Yeah.
But to me, as I said before, it's to call yourself a DJ is a big thing. It's
Sure.
not like you put, okay, I know how to mix. I have this controller, so now I am a DJ. No. I don't believe in that, I respect everyone, but I don't believe in that.
Right.
So So yeah, and until now, so together we create the things. He's more in charge of some parts of the concept. I'm more in charge of the other parts of the concept, and we do this all over the world.
Wow, it's
Based in Ibiza.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful story. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
evolution. I'm curious because we see success in so many different forms. We see, entrepreneurs that are single and obsessed with their business, working 80, 100 hours a week, and they have success. We see beautiful, healthy partnerships, and we see them work out and have longevity. And then we see there's a high divorce rate in the world too. Again, we see so many case studies. But on a positive note, I'm curious, how has a good, healthy partnership and relationship helped you to succeed outside of her professional skill sets and the synergy work-wise? On a personal level, what has the impact of a good relationship and good partner been on your life in general?
Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to have a partner work with the partner and then have the personal life with the same partner. It's very difficult. You really need to learn how to manage that.
Okay.
But I have the example from my parents. My parents also had a business together. They work back to back together, and I believe that is totally possible. It's just a matter of how both sides manage the situation, the way each person is, how you manage your ego and your personal goals. What are you capable to give or to reject from your life to make this work, And sometimes you bring the stress from an event home, and so it's important learn how to separate that and disconnect.
Yes.
And
easier said than done.
Yeah.
Sure.
But of course, it's a learning, like every relationship. You need to. It takes time to adapt. Also, in my case with her, we are from a different cultures. She's Austrian and I'm originally Colombian, so we grow. It's not like she's somebody's less or more. It's just different the way you grow, education. Sometimes, But it's like in every human relation, you just need to. If you are capable to manage that and make it work, it will work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Could be as a partner. It could be any kind of partner. It doesn't have to be involved in love. It could be your best friend.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Great point, man. Appreciate you sharing. Nice, dude. Moving towards the end of the discussion today.
Yeah.
Firstly, before I ask my last question, I just wanted to acknowledge you. It's been such a pleasure to sit here. Like I said before we started, my selfish reasons for this podcast are to get inspiration and information to apply to my own personal career, my own personal life, to advance, grow, and I hope the same for the people watching. So congrats on all the success you've had.
Thank you so much.
More power and more strength this year. And all that being said, my last question I love to finish with is, if you can visualize yourself back when you were just getting going in your DJ and producer career, you're playing locally, you have the residencies, you've got a few tracks out, maybe to some local labels, nothing too big yet at that time, and you have all of these inner desires and visions of yourself going globally, maybe starting an event brand, Boho, etc. Now fast forward to 2025, with all the advances in technology, social media marketing, all that kind of stuff. And imagine there's a local DJ/producer that's in his respective town or city, getting consistent gigs. He's got a couple records out on local labels, but like yourself, he wants to go global, build a brand, something bigger than himself, start touring, all that kind of stuff. What's maybe 3 gems of wisdom you could offer to him or her to take them from local to global?
Based in the nowadays times, I don't know if I'm saying, I'm sorry for my English, sometimes it could be weird.
We got you.
So based on nowadays, I think making music is important, because this is the way the audience that you cannot reach, they can get to know you. is important.
Yeah.
Nowadays, of course, marketing is extremely important. Could be even more important than making music, which is a little bit sad. But in the end, people is listening online music, and sometimes, well, I believe even more than on the radio nowadays. Like I don't know any other channels, online channels. So they can get to know you from a song, but I also can get to know you from social media.
Yeah.
And well, I had well, that's a different story. So I think this is essential. Also, I think and trying to be in the be a good PR for yourself. I think it's important. Trying to connect to people, trying to respect everyone, trying to be gentle and kind and respect everyone. It doesn't matter who it is, the local DJ or just the bigger star, whatever.
Yeah.
I think to me this is an important thing as a person, and to really find your space in the industry. I value a lot, for instance, as a promoter, when I need to have someone playing for our event. To me, it's very, very, very important what kind of person it is, first of all, and then of course what kind of music they can provide, what kind of vibe they can provide.
Yeah.
I had the moments when I met some incredible artists. I didn't like how they were, and next, like that.
Wow. Because
to me it's important, to connect.
Yeah.
So if you are capable to connect, I think it's also easier. Be humble. It doesn't matter if you are bigger or smaller. Just be humble, and work. And work. Be in the hotspots. Go there. Get out of your comfort zone. So if you need to be there because you want to grow in that scene that you need to go there.
Yeah.
And struggle and fail and try and and I think this is more or less what I will say. Yes.
Yeah, it's all great stuff. Keep making music. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. You had something else?
And try to try to do your best all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you try to do your best as the best, but learn from that.
Yeah, the effort.
And then you will do you will deliver better and try to do your best and respect. Also.
Yeah. No, it's a great point about doing your best. I feel like a lot of times, depending on what you believe, or spiritual, magic, all that kind of stuff, I notice if you're doing your best effort and maybe you're not getting the results you're looking for, the universe is seeing that and it goes on your side, and eventually that consistent effort and momentum, you'll manifest some good stuff and some cool results.
Yeah. I think there is people that beside of that you can create good music or you can deliver an amazing set as a DJ, because this is also another thing. One thing is, well, there are many different perspectives to see an artist.
Yeah.
One is music-wise, another wise as a product, or because there are some incredible people that they make beautiful music, but then as DJs they are terrible. And inverse, there are amazing DJs that then when they make music, their music is terrible.
Yeah.
So, but I believe there is people that still can want to help. So if you're humble and you're nice and you show respect and for the scene, in general, like don't show respect for the people that they're making big efforts, and then I think you will get also some help. I had help in my whole career. I had help from friends that they like what I did, and because I was humble and stuff, they helped me to be in the right place in that moment with all the contacts and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but I was there in that moment, so I had to get out of my comfort zone to be there. But then I got some help from here and there. I was also showing that I was capable to do this.
Cool.
So it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I like it. Cool. All great stuff, man. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome episode. Guys, thanks for watching. You know the deal. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Another episode. Love.